Mike Moore Media.
Hello, we want to say thanks to Mike Moore Media for providing the studio to do this important podcast, and where we let everybody know about community treasures and hidden gems in Rockingham County. Ordinary people doing the extraordinary. My name is Lyle Milligan, and today we're talking with Barbara DeJournette, owner of Pelham Transportation in downtown Reidsville. However, that's not all she has done. She is one of those people that does very extraordinary things throughout her life. So welcome, Barbara. We are certainly glad you are here.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure being here with you.
I believe that you and I met several years ago serving on the Downtown Corporation here in Reidsville. And I think you and your husband had just kind of finished up the building you're in with Pelham Transportation. And I was just really impressed how you had taken that and made it, for lack of a better word, livable for yourselves and the community as they come through and do that. So it was really good. And I think recently you've expanded some, right?
Yes, we have. We purchased a building next door to us, and that we use that for our office space and interviews and welcoming guests and that kind of thing.
It's a great facility, and it's a great addition to downtown Reidsville. I know that. So let's start about you, and tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe where you were born, and about your family.
Well, I was born right here in Reidsville, North Carolina, out in the county on a small farm off of Hamlet Road. At that time, it was called the Oregon Hill area. And I have 3 sisters and 3 brothers. Wow. And then I went to Booker T. Washington High School, left Booker T, and was some of the first groups that integrated Ruffin High School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic experience because I ended up making friends and opening more doors and graduating and going on to a new life.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so you obviously left Reidsville for a while then?
Yes, I left Reidsville and started working for the government. I started working for the U.S. military, and then I worked for agriculture for a little while and left there and went to U.S. Information Agency, where I ended up going abroad for the State Department.
Wow. And I believe your title was like a Foreign Service Officer. Is that close enough?
Yes, it was. Well, I actually started off as an executive secretary for the U.S. Information Agency, and later I ended up in becoming a Foreign Service Officer.
I see. Wow, that's remarkable. What does a Foreign Service Officer do?
Well, in my capacity at that time, I was working with cultural affairs. I was also working with foreign nationals in different countries.
Wow.
And, what we do is we represent the United States around the world, learning new cultures and exposing our culture to other countries.
I see. And so you did that in several countries?
In several countries, and while I was in the diplomatic service, I was able to work on several presidential initiatives like the Youth Exchange Program, working with Behind the Iron Curtain, and provided support for VIP visits like presidential visits, senators, several officials, and at one point I was in Berlin when the wall came down.
Is that right? Wow, what an historic thing. And to be there, wow, I can't imagine. That's awesome.
And I was in Paris for the Versailles Summit.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
So we're here because of you. No. That's awesome. What a great experience and what a great life story. So obviously you had to learn some different languages then, I would assume.
Yes, I did. I had to learn, the first language I had to learn was Portuguese because I was assigned to Brazil.
Oh.
Then I learned Spanish going to Argentina and Spain.
Oh.
And after that, it was German, then Arabic and Swedish.
Oh, my. That's amazing. I have enough trouble with English. I think I got a C+, so that's awesome. Tremendous experience, and And then you ended up back here in Reidsville. Was that obviously by choice?
Yes, it was. We started a small business called Chariot of Peace, which was a charter bus with wheelchair lift.
Oh.
And then we started growing the second business, which was Pelham Transportation. And so I decided it was time to retire and come home.
Okay.
And while I was at home, my husband was still in Washington working on his career, and he ended up having cancer, and we both came home.
I see.
And continued to work the business.
Wow. Well, I know that I see Pelham Transportation vehicles all over the county and many times in Greensboro. How far out do you go with that?
We go anywhere in the United States that we're needed. Yes.
Wow.
For example, we have a license to cross state lines, so we may go to New York. We take customers to New York. We go to Tennessee, different places.
I see. So is it, and again, from my understanding, it was more of a local transportation service for people that needed to get doctors or whatever, those kind of things, but you actually do tours as well?
Yes, it started out as a business for wheelchair lifts and helping people, and what we ended up doing, we ended up taking, because you have people who are in wheelchairs who want to go to other cities and do other things. Sure. So we started our charter business taking people to other areas.
That's awesome.
So as a result, we go anywhere. And we have a couple of luxury vans that we use to take people to Chicago, anywhere they want to go. That's
remarkable. So how many employees do you have? It must be several then.
Yes, that's my little dog.
That's one.
We have about 20-some employees, 24 is that, I think.
That's amazing.
And we, what we do is we also charter, do weddings as well.
Oh, okay. That's just remarkable. What a great asset that is to Reidsville and the work that you do. So I see the RCATS buses around as well, and I know they're kind of in that as well. Do you complement each other, or do you do the same things? How does that work?
We work closely together to make sure that people in Rockingham County go to their doctor's appointments, any other, go to surgery, whatever need they have. Mm-hmm. We work closely with them.
I see. And I assume that the charges would be similar, or?
I don't know their charges. I just closely work with those because they're funded by the government. We're privately owned.
I see. Okay.
But we do work together.
Right.
To make sure everybody's taken care of. In fact, they contractors do a lot of their transportation out of the area.
I see. Well, that's very good. Again, another example of the community serving each other and doing the things that we're trying to do here in Rockingham County and getting along and making sure that our people are taken care of. What are some other things that you might do from a charity standpoint or a philanthropic standpoint?
Well, we support, for example, the Salvation Army. We support hospices, because hospices has really helped some members of our families.
I see.
We support Rockingham Hope, the United Way, Help for the Homeless, Shriners. Wow. There was a young men's club here that was headed by Perry Graves. We supported them for several years.
I see. Well, that's fantastic. Again, just being involved in our community, that's a really great thing. One thing I haven't mentioned yet that I also find interesting is that you're a council person for the city of Reidsville. Was it last year that you were elected?
Yes, it was.
And is that your first time on council?
Yes, the very first time. And it's a great experience because you feel like you're even giving back even more. And you're working with a team of people that want to see Reidsville grow and develop.
That's just awesome. we're excited about the new park that's coming, and I know that City Council has made some great decisions to assist that. The first thing would be providing the land behind City Hall to put that in. So we're really looking forward to that in our community as well. So I appreciate that from our City Council here in Reidsville. All right. Well, we wish you continued success and a great career there, and we appreciate all of the things that you do in our community and providing transportation for those that need it, and to have had the experiences you've had and yet come back and bless us with the things that you do in our community is just extraordinary, and we certainly appreciate that very much. So again, this is Lyle Milligan, and we say thank you to Mike Moore Media for this space to do this important podcast, and allowing us to meet today, Barbara DeJournette. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.